Greetings and salutations to you, people of the interwebs. So today we're going to do a unboxing, and it is this guy. This is I was going to say Transformers. It's not a Transformer at all. It's Mondo 1/6 scale trap jaw. Don't go into that trap jaw. There's something down there. Yeah. So I've not indulged in any of these Mondo 1/6 scale Master of the Universe figures, but when I saw this guy, I had to get it. I just had to. I think, in the dark days before Transformers, when I was a child, there was Star Wars and there was He-Man. And this guy, this Trapjaw, I love this bastard. And it's just informed of my love of weird 80s goons, henchmen to the main villain. And most of the stuff I like, I've always somehow have a soft spot for some of these goons. And just everything that's going on has informed so much of aesthetics, I think, that I like personally. It's like why I'm into Space Orcs, why, like Bionics and all this type of stuff. It's just such an interesting design that really kind of spoke to me as a child and has just informed my aesthetic choices ever since. I've not even looked at this guy yet. So there's a magnetic seal here. We move this bit of paper, and well, there's no reveal of the figure because he's got tarp over him to stop him. That's a spoiler there. Spoiler. What it looked like is he's got tarp over him to stop him getting damaged in transit, the paint scratching. So to actually get a look at him, and the box is a bit dinged up, I'll tell you that. It was in customs for a bit longer than I wanted. Now, I had been receiving emails from a company that were not the company that I ordered from, but apparently, saying, "Oh, you owe custom fees," and it looked, it wasn't from revenues and benefits. It wasn't from HR Customs. It wasn't from Mondo, or it wasn't from DHP or whatever who were sending it. It was from some other company completely entirely. And for all intents and purposes, it looked like a fucking spam email that we get all the time. So I'd just been ignoring it because it didn't even say. I mean, the product didn't even say what product it was on my, on the email, and it had been addressed to like my name and my surname banged together like they are on my email and not like separate. So it just, it looked fishy. It looked like a phishing scam. So I ignored it, and then I noticed that on the tracking it was like still in customs, and I'm like, I better investigate this. But yeah, so it turned out it was in customs, and that was a legitimate email, even though it looked well dodgy. Wow, this is a heavy figure. So let's get this plastic clamshell. It's more like a oyster shell at this stage. Are oysters bigger than clamshell? I don't know what I'm saying. So we've got this out. The nice kind of 80s explodey thing there. At the back of it, we've got a tray of accessories here, and a tray of figure. We're possibly not going to go through everything because there'll be people, who have proper turntables and decent lighting and all that kind of business. We'll sort you out on that regard. I'm just here as a fan and as a lover of Trapjaw, just to give you my first impressions on this. Oh, here we go. Get these things out of the way. Oh, Lord, here coming. So we'll take him out unceremoniously, like a dead chicken. Now he's like, it looks like he's ready to go work as a serial killer here, hasn't he? He's got his anti-forensic vest on. Get that off. Come on. Oh. Wowee. Wowzer. Just look at this. Look at the state of this. Oh, that's amazing. And I'm just looking at the back so far. Wow. Oh. Look at this. Piston in the elbow. It's got his claw configuration on at the moment. I can move up and down. More importantly, the trapjaw works. Yeah. So this is, you know, it does speak a lot to me of the 2000X He-Man cartoon. I was trying to find the one I had to kind of compare this to, but I don't know where it is. At some point, his arm was broken, and I'd put it down somewhere to repair him, and I don't know where that is. It's somewhere safe, kids. But yeah, wow. Just the detail and the paint and everything is exquisite, as it ought to be for this end of a collectible. Yeah. So he's got his big mechanical arm. He's got his normal arm. He's got a head. He's got all these hooks here on his belt. Oh, how they've done the tarnished brass on that. So, you know, normally I think it was just a green, neon green belt. But what they've done is they've made it look like it's copper. And so, you know, the copper's colour is still there on bits that, you know, I'd see a bit of rubbing. But where it's just been left to rot and ruin, it's gone that green, as it does. Wow, the eyes are magnificent. Oh, yeah, so he's got all that going on with him. And then we also have some replacement parts. We've got a couple of heads. We've got some hands. We've got some different accessories for the arm, because that's, you know, that's Trapjaw's gimmick, and that's in this tray. And it's got another arm here, so you can replace the mechanical arm with just a regular arm if you want to do him as regular bloke. I can't remember what his name was before he became Trapjaw, but you can do that. He was just one of Keldor's mates at the time, wasn't he? Well, I suppose it depends on the continuity, and obviously he got messed up and became Trapjaw. So you've got some holdy hands here, and then we've got this tray number 2, and this has got more stuff and or things inside of it. Let's see, this one's not sellotaped up. Everything's in little individual baggies. So we have this, which I presume is part of a stand. I didn't even know it was coming with a stand. But here we are. We've got this part of the stand. We've got this other part of the stand. Because sometimes they just don't work that well. Got another weapon. Another weapon. The weapon for his normal hand, this big old spiky club. Another one of his weapon loadouts. And another one. So, you know, this guy comes with a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Let's just rest him down here while we talk through some of this. So, yeah. So we have regular Blue Man hand. So when he's not being trap jaw, that needs warming up a bit. I don't want to move that away. You could just have him as this guy, and here he is. Here's the head sculpt for that. Just regular goon. I suppose you could troop build them. Not this price, mate. He's got an alternative head. So this, oh, this is more like square orky jaw. That I think he was probably more squared off in the 2000X cartoon, maybe. So other than that, both sculpts look pretty similar. So it's just a alternate jaw. Oh, that's nasty. That just where his jogger's way. It's just nasty. So I'm not sure why they couldn't have just come up with a way to have a jaw that replaces rather than two heads. But there you go. I'm not bemoaning having extra heads here. So I've got a couple of heads that are replacements, and then yeah, we've got this stand, I suppose, which compared to other companies, this isn't really much. Got the old crotch grabber. Yeah, that's quite weird, that, because this side is got some kind of texture on it. This side is just plain smooth, and it's the side that's plain smooth that has the slot for this to go into. So that detail's lost on the floor, and there's just no detail there whatsoever. You know, I'd expect something a little bit raised up, maybe even a plaque with his name on. That's kind of a standard, really. Normally, you know, a lot of 1/6 scale figures. But I mean, that's, I didn't even think it was coming. I didn't even know it was coming with standard. I don't think it was pictured on any of the contents. Maybe that's the reason why it wasn't, because it's not really much, but it is squeaky. Ooh. So you can plug that off there, and then there's a little dude of that, and that will go onto his belt as we yeah, so I'll go through his weapons, but I'm not going to be replacing hands and heads and stuff like that. That's something where more I just want to take my time and make sure I don't damage anything. So laser blaster, pew pew pew, pew pew pew. Onto his belt. What else do we have? This is one of his ridiculous ones of the old electric fly swatter, or his griddling chef hand. You know, if he wants to go to a barbecue, old Snake Mountain, can trap George your guy, really. He'll sort you out. Yeah. You can fossilise and flip burgers with that. Just got a good old nubbin that you could just punch people with anyway. Then we have, I'm going to say something really dumb then, but well, not. I'll go on. I said I was going to say something dumb, so I have to actually say what it was. I was going to say, because I was looking at the amount of hooks he has, and I was like thinking, he doesn't have enough like hoops on his back to fit all his accessories. He's one short. We'll have one on his hand, won't we? So he doesn't need. Yeah, not the brightest, am I? Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, the old hook. Yeah. Ah, my heart is. Maybe this is why I like pirates as well. That can attach on like so. Then we'll get the old bowcaster. They've, you know, cartoons always like to give people crossbows and stuff like that without having a clue how they actually work. Because, you know, there's no string to this, and it couldn't fit string where it's positioned. But there you go. Anyway, it's just the stylistic choice, isn't it, of it? So I'll take that off. Put that up here onto his so that's his belt, fully loaded. So that means we've got one more to play with. Unless there's any way to put that club on there. No. And so the last, but no means least, it's a grappling hook. And yeah, that does come off, right? So it's got some string attached to there. Possibly would have preferred wire or something with this. But if he wants to zip line across the battlefield, he's got that going for him. So yeah, he's fully loaded. And then final accessory is this spectacular, nasty looking club that he'll hold in his other hand. You put the hands anywhere. We're not replacing the hands today. But yeah, so he's got this. He's got a fist there at the moment. So I need to warm this up because it's bit very stiff. So I need to put that in some hot water before I want to actually shape it and put the. It will hold it though. You can tell that it's got enough, but it's just not got enough give at this moment in time because it's been a cold day, and he's been in transit. So there you go. Holds that. In terms of 1/6 scale figures go, brought down the old other guy who likes his accessories, and Boba Fett. So how those two size against each other. I've never seen them in a show together, so I also don't know how big they should be next to each other. Well, there you go. I'll tell you what, though, this is a Hot Toys figure with all its soft goods and all that type of stuff. But the weight on this, because this guy is just a solid lump of plastic. And I love it. I love it. All the attention to detail, all the little dry brushings on the robot parts, so it's not just so it's got two different. It's got this gunmetal and a more brushed, more silvery metal that's been brushed where it's been damaged or battle damaged, as it were. Dry brushing. Yeah, this guy's amazing. He's amazing, and because I like the aesthetics of this character so much, and because I think he's just an amazing part of just for me what was 80s culture. I don't feel any pressure to get involved in the rest of the line, which was a worry for me because I don't have the space or the money to go, especially when it's like halfway through a kind of collection, so you'd be like having to like pay the second-hand prices for like He-Man and Skeletor and all that type of stuff. So there's no pressure. I don't feel any need to get any more. I can just stop at this beautiful example of just 80s batshit cartoon crazy, refined, with a modern eye. And I can just have this in my collection, stood in a cabinet on his own somewhere, looking glorious. And he is glorious. Well, that's my kind of unboxing first impressions. I am chuffed. I'm pleased. I am so glad I went ahead and got this. And other than that, that's all we've got to say, other than be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes, and because you deserve it, let's bump this, shall we? Fisto! Fisto!